Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck based around one of the most popular old school boss monsters, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like your name, description of a single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This card is an extremely nostalgic boss monster that's an awesome combo piece in the deck, and our main boss monster we're trying to summon out to our side of the field. This card is an awesome 3000 attack point boss monster that's actually super easy to summon. We then play 2 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon is really easy to summon out to our side of the field. By just revealing the original Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand, you can special summon this card out to your side of the field. This card also counts as Blue Eyes White Dragon while in the field or in the graveyard, making it super easy to go in for fusion plays. This card also has the ability once per turn, you can target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it, but this card cannot attack the turn you activate that effect. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Blue Eyes Jet Dragon is actually my favorite Blue Eyes monster ever created, and definitely comment down below what your favorite Blue Eyes card is. This card is awesome with the ability other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and you only use each of the following effects this card once per turn and can only be activated while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on the field or in the graveyard. And if a card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand or your graveyard, which is a really cool effect to just instantly special summon this card out to your side of the field. And if this card battles, you can target one card that your opponent controls and return it back to the hand, which is great to be able to balance a card off the field. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. This card is awesome in the deck as a one-of because it can actually search out the pieces to summon out Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon or Polymerization, with the effect that if this card is special summoned, you can add a ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand. And during your end phase, you can add a level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand, which is an awesome ability to instantly get to the pieces to be able to summon out your copy of Chaos Max or go in for a fusion play. Speaking of Chaos Max, we also play a single copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. This card is so easy to summon in the deck, and it's just an awesome boss monster that does double piercing damage and comes out at 4000 attack points. It's an awesome one-of in the build and just really easy to summon in the deck, and it's searchable off your copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon's effect. We then play a single copy of Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. This card is really cool just as a one-up in the build, and it's really nostalgic because Kaiba actually played Chaos Emperor Dragon, which is super cool to be able to just summon this card out to your side of the field because it cannot be a normal summoner set. It must be special summoned from your hand or your extract by banishing a light and a dark monster from your graveyard to your side of the field, which is a really awesome ability just to instantly get this card out on the field. And also, once per turn, you can pay half your life points and send as many cards you control as possible to the graveyard except from the extra monster zone, and if you do, send cards your opponent controls to the graveyard up to the number of cards sent to the graveyard, which is a really cool ability. Then inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent for each card sent to their graveyard by this card's effect, which is an awesome ability just to be able to get cards in the graveyard while also getting a level 8 boss monster out on the field. We then play 3 copies of Dictator of D. Dictator of D is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card is the ability while you control a Blue Eyes monster, you choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. And when that's playing at 3000 to 4000 attack point boss monsters, that's awesome. This card also has the ability you can send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, and you can discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon or any card that mentions it to target a Blue Eyes monster in the graveyard and special summon it back to your side of the field, making it super easy to summon out your copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. This card is a great normal summon in the deck because this card is ability, if it's normal summon, you get to add a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand, and it also has a really cool ability that you can discard this card, target an effect monster that you control, send to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon a Blue Eyes monster from the deck to your side of the field, which is a really cool ability because we have a bunch of great targets you can actually summon, like your copy of Abyss Dragon, Jet Dragon, or the original Blue Eyes White Dragon. We then play 3 copies of the White Stone of Ancients. White Stone of Ancients is definitely a 3-of in the build, with the ability once returned during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to your side of the field. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to target a Blue Eyes monster in the graveyard and add it to your hand, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of the White Stone of Legend. White Stone of Legend is a super simple card that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Assault Synchron. Assault Synchron is definitely a 3-of in the build, because during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, then take 700 points of damage, which is a really not that big of a deal about this card, because it's really good to be able to get this card out on your side of the field, because it's a level 2 tuner that makes it super easy to synchro summon into level 10 synchro monsters, which is great to be able to synchro summon into cards like Dispatter. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of in the build, just to be able to stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then also play a single copy of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is really good as a 1-of in the build because it's actually searchable off your copy of Sage, since Sage can actually search light level 1 tuners. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of the original Polymerization. Polymerization is definitely a 1-of in the build because this card is just super helpful in the deck to help you fusion summon into cards like Tyrant Dragon. We then play a single copy of Ultimate Fusion. Ultimate Fusion is very, very good in this deck with the ability that during the main phase, you can summon a fusion monster from your extract that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or is a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as a material by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it from the hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons that you used for its material, which is such a cool ability that you use them from the field. You get to pop cards on the field, which is such an awesome effect. And I love that about this card, to basically just fuse away a Blue Eyes White Dragon on your side of the field and pop a card on the field while also getting a boss monster on the field, which is absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Chaos Form. Chaos Form is definitely a 1-of in the deck because this card makes it so easy to summon out your copy of Chaos Max with the ability that you can ritual summon out a copy of a Chaos or a Blackluster Soldier ritual monster to your side of the field by treating monsters in your hand or field or banishing a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard whose total level exactly equal the level of the Chaos monster you're trying to summon. So you can actually banish Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard to summon out Chaos Max, which is awesome. We then play 3 copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragon. Melody is definitely a 3-of in the build with an awesome ability that you can discard a card to add up to 2 dragons with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. And this card is amazing because you can actually search out a bunch of different Blue Eyes White Dragon monsters, and you can even search out your copy of Chaos Emperor, which is awesome to be able to add that card from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Trade-In. Trade-In's definitely a 3-of in the build because you just discard a level 8 monster to draw 2 cards, which is super simple in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets makes it super easy to OTK your opponent with this build because it basically just turns your opponent's field off, which is amazing. And cards like the White Stone of Ancient and the White Stone of Legend are just really good to be able to get those cards into the graveyard so you can get additional searches and summons. And this card makes it easy to be able to get those cards into the graveyard. But this card is amazing in the deck as a 3-of just to turn your opponent's field off and also use this card to basically half the attack points of your opponent's monsters, which is absolutely amazing. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is the only trap that you play in this deck, and this card is just really good at stopping your opponent's monster effects, and it's also recyclable off your copy of Tyrant Dragon, which is why I play this card in the deck, but it's really good just to set this card to your side of the field, negate a monster's effect, and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with a single copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. This card is amazing as a one-of because you can actually use this card to tag out for a different synchro monster, which is so cool. And as you neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, and once returned during either player's turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, you can negate the activation. Also, during either player's turn, you can tribute this synchro summon card to special summon a light dragon type synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position, except another copy of this card, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. This card can actually summon out your copy of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is an awesome card to be able to bring the Blue Eyes White Dragon back from your graveyard to your side of the field during your standby phase, which is a great effect. You can also tag this card into your copy of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, which is an awesome bounce in the deck, which is just really cool to summon this card out to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing is super easy to summon in the deck, as all you do to summon out this card is tag out your copy of Spirit Dragon into Black Rose, and then summon out any one of your level 1 tuner monsters and synchro summon your copy of your Black Rose and your level 1 tuner into Crystal Wing, giving you a walking negate, which is absolutely amazing. Plus, this card actually has Blue Eyes stats, which is really neat. But this card is a walking negate, which is why we played as a one-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is ridiculously easy to summon in the deck, and is really good to be able to summon out to your side of the field, because if you use light monsters to synchro summon this card, then synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. If you use dark, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And with your copy of Assault Synchron, you can actually put light and dark in this card. Pretty easy to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field. Also, when it's summoned out to your side of the field, you can target a card on the field and banish it, which is a great effect. And then play a single copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is just amazing in the deck to be able to summon this card out as a walking negate. Plus, you can bring back your banished light or dark monsters to your side of the field, which is amazing. And then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. This card is amazing. It has the ability you can pop up to 3 cards per turn on the field, which is an awesome ability if you use a copy of Alternative White Dragon to be able to make this card, but it cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Also, your opponent cannot target or destroy this card with card effects, making it a really big boss monster and hard for your opponent to deal with. And then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. This card is great because it can actually recycle your copy of Infinite Impermanence, plus it's super easy to summon out to your side of the field because it just a Blue Eyes White Dragon plus any dragon monster to make this card, and it can also attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and once per turn, at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can target a trap in the grave and set it to your spell and trap card zone, so you can actually use Infinite Impermanence during your opponent's turn on the follow-up, which is really, really good, making this card essentially like a negate. And then play a single copy of Twin Burst Dragon. You can actually contact fuse into this card, which is really cool. You don't have to use polymerization, just 2 Blue Eyes on your side of the field to be able to summon this card out. And it's a really good one-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great because it comes out absolutely massive, and it's just a really big boss monster that pops multiple cards on the field. 1 copy of Selene. Selene is very easy to summon because we play a lot of spells in the deck, plus with this card, you can actually play a lot of spellcasters as well, like your copy of Sage and Effect Failure, to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field, which is really, really nice. There'll be a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is really good. You can play Nightmare Unicorn instead if you want to for a budget option, but if you have SP, play it because it is a double interruption. We then play a single copy of IP so we can make SP during the opponent's turn. This card is amazing in the deck as a one-of to be able to basically go in for SP to have a double interruption. We play a single copy of Hermetic Seal. Hermetic Seal belongs in just about any dragon deck, and this card is really good in the deck as a one-of because it's very easy to summon and it's a bounce off the field, letting you summon a dragon from the deck as well. And then finally, we play a single copy of Relinquished Anima. Anima is great in the deck as a one-of to be able to get the stones off your side of the field and basically gobble up your opponent's monsters. So That's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's really fun to be able to play. It's absolutely crazy how easy it is to OTK your opponent with this build, and I'm super excited for you guys to try this because it's really, really fun. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.